Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm for Profit Podcast.
And listeners, welcome back to the Farm for Profit Podcast. This is Tanner.
Corey's here.
And David's here.
This is our favorite time, I was going to say of the year, but our favorite time of the day.
It is. We finally got a crack of beer.
Oh my God.
How about it?
How about it? I think Charlie's been. Well, shoot, I shouldn't have said that. I think our guest has been cracking beers since. A while.
Wait. Ground control to Major Tom.
If you guys didn't know this is Farm for Profit karaoke.
Oh. You know what,
That's what we're going to do next.
I think Dave would put us all to shame.
Yeah, he's been trying to get us to karaoke bar.
I don't know. Corey's got a hidden talent there. I think he's got it.
Yeah, might be good. I just don't want you to see it. I'm humble.
I heard him in the shower.
At least you heard him and didn't see him in the shower.
At least I showered.
At least he showered.
At least he showered.
Well played.
We appreciate everybody that listens. If you want to check us out, we're on every single social media platform. If you've got somebody that you want us to interview, send us a message, 515-207-9640.
Yo, 40.
40. Yeah.
Maybe I'm 2 or 3 beers into this.
No.
But
You
nobody
ready?
wants to listen to me because that's why we have guests. Why don't you introduce the guest?
Who's our guest?
Today on the Farm for Fun show, we're at the National Farm Machinery Show at the Brandt booth. Well, happy Thirsty Thursday. That's how we're going to get off with this. Today, the Farm for Profit team is going to interview a man. Man, am I 3 beers into this? I just cracked this thing.
I'm
that
12.
has become loved by so many in the social world. He's a trucker that hauls hazardous waste. Please welcome from Uniondale, Pennsylvania, with over 362,000 followers on TikTok, Mr. Charlie Trucker.
362,000 morons are following me, for Christ's sakes. And I'm 12 beers deep.
12
All
beers
right?
deep.
12, all right?
That's it? I'm
We're
kind
gonna
of
try to-
disappointed. We
well,
put this clear at the end of the day for
might
you.
be more. I lost
That
track.
might be a record on the podcast. I don't know. We got pretty far into it with the first time we ever had Zach Johnson on with that Black Velvet.
That was, we had, was BV Caramel?
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
problem.
I love me some Black Velvet.
So is this your first podcast,
This
Charlie?
is my very first one, and I'm nervous as hell. I'm not going to lie.
Even
I'm
12
nervous.
beers deep, huh?
I'm looking at my buddy Tony Reed out there in the audience, and
Fanboy.
he's keeping me calm. And I got Cody Gear and
Yep.
Bushels and Barrels and Racked Audio and Tractor Guy and Tractor Girl. I got Daryl that owns Tub of Towels. They're my
Your sponsor?
no, they're my
Toilet paper?
Entourage.
no, they're my support group.
Where have you guys been?
We just got back from the Custom Harvesters event where operators from across the country couldn't stop talking about Steinbauer performance modules.
Yeah, they're seeing up to 25% more power, better fuel efficiency, all with smarter injector duration and not altering the rail pressure for safe and reliable performance.
If you're looking to maximize your machine's potential, go to steinbauer.us and tell them Farm for Profit sent you to get yours today.
My support
Vegas
group.
fans. I will tell you, we have not interviewed anybody ever that's had this many followers in the audience.
Tony Reed's got twice as many as me.
Well, that's what I mean. Your followers have followers.
He's twice as big as me. I'm twice as big in size, but half the size of his followers.
Charlie, Corey missed it here. He said 360,000 on TikTok. You got 81,000 on Facebook?
No, that's a fake account, you sons of. Well, why would you even bring that up?
This is what it said on the paper.
Tabernacles.
Some guy has a
account.
fake account that has 81,000 followers on it.
Yeah, and I hate that some.
Well, I didn't say it. Dave. God.
Oh, we knew that.
Dave said it. You know what, Dave? I hate you.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
So if you want to follow him, go out to Facebook.
No, don't do that.
Oh, don't go out.
Follow me on Facebook.
That's right.
Me. I'm verified. I got a blue check mark now, just like my buddy Tony Reed.
Oh, my.
I got a blue check mark, baby. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
So how did you get here? Did you fly in? Did you drive in? Did you park the truck?
Excuse
You
me.
got a load over
Excuse
there,
me, I
didn't
have
you?
a terrible chest cold. My 2 good friends, Tony Reed and Tractor Guy, texted me and called me and texted me and hounded me for 3 weeks to come to the farm show.
Yep.
I had no intentions of coming here at all.
Yep.
It's too much for an old fat guy like myself to do the farm show and the truck show.
Okay.
Okay? So they just wouldn't let it go. And finally, I called Tony one night, and I said, Tony, if you can score me a room at your hotel, I will go. And that prick, can I say prick?
Yeah.
That prick texted me back. He's like, I'm going by myself. I have 2 beds. You can sleep with me. I'm like, God damn it.
There it is.
That's it. That was it. That was the end of it. And here I am. Here I am.
That's kind of the same way.
We're sleeping together in the same room.
It's kind of the
Sorta.
same thing,
Same
Corey.
bed?
Well,
One king?
The Tuesday night we got really drunk, and then we slept in separate beds. But in the morning, when I woke up, he was spooning me.
Yeah.
It must be cold in there.
Hauling hazardous waste.
It was chilly. It was chilly. I gave him that. It was chilly, But it was kind of cool because Scooby and Shaggy, my dogs, do that. So I felt like home,
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tony, for getting him here. You and I have been texting for a long time, and finally,
you and I have been buddies for 2-3 years, but never met.
I kept trying to get him to get a load out here.
I am so happy. I'm so happy I finally got to meet you.
Yeah.
A load out here because where's he coming from?
From Pennsylvania. So I didn't want him to have to come here.
That. I know where he's from.
I told everyone he's from Pennsylvania.
But where at?
Uniondale.
Uniondale, Pennsylvania. He just wanted my load. That's all.
No.
Hazardous waste. Hazardous waste.
Am I screwing up? Is
does
this
that
too
classify?
inappropriate?
Does that classify as hazardous waste?
Probably,
Yes.
Yeah, probably after 12 beers. All right, let's reel this in. Let's go back to Little Charlie.
Yeah, reel it in, baby.
Okay,
Please.
how did,
Do we need to clarify which little Charlie
did
we're
you
talking
grow up
about?
in Uniondale?
No, I grew up in northern Vermont on the Canadian border on a dairy farm.
Okay.
My parents are still there. Dad's 87, Mom's 83. They still own the farm.
Yep.
It's 250 acres. When 50 years ago, it was a decent-sized farm. We
That's a
milked
good farm.
60 cows, Nowadays, that's nothing. If you're not milking 1,000 cows in Vermont now, you ain't milking cows.
Okay.
But that's where I grew up. I used to be pretty rugged back then, boy. I'll tell you what. I had some Arnold Schwarzenegger looks going on. And then I started trucking, and it's like, what the hell happened? But I started trucking.
Big gulps, eh?
In 1988, I started trucking.
Okay.
Because I just have a passion for trucks. I don't know why.
Yep.
I used to sit out on the front lawn like a can I say
Yeah, sure.
excuse me, like a because all the feed trucks would haul corn and grain out of Canada because we were right on the border. I would sit out there like, bonk, 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 you blow your horn, I just couldn't get enough of them.
Yeah.
And back then, they were the Ford LTL 9000, were the biggest, baddest trucks back then.
Yeah.
Triaxle feed trucks hauled grain and corn into the farmers in Vermont.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Yep, and it was cheap. We bought sweet corn for $8 a ton.
$8 a ton.
Dumped at our farm out of Montreal.
Wow.
It was, excuse me. God, that's
Canada.
terrible. Out of Montreal, there's a big cannery.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of sweet corn. So you got mostly husk.
It's like a husk.
And
Like a husklage.
husk and weird
Did you hear me?
ears. And the cows loved it. But you bought mostly water. There was so much moisture, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But still, who cares at $8 a ton?
Right,
You know?
yeah.
Cows loved it, ate it,
Yeah.
milked like a son bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine that.
And try to fork that with a 10-tine silage fork
Yeah.
in a wheelbarrow. I
Now-
did it.
So is that why you didn't go back to the farm because you were using the wheelbarrow?
No, I actually love the farm. I love milking cows. I love the cows. I love being with the cow.
Yeah.
I really did. But we just couldn't, my dad and I just couldn't get along.
Okay.
I went to college for farming, dairy farm management.
What college?
Vermont Technical College,
Yeah.
VTC, in Randolph, Vermont, for 2 years. I have a degree. I have a degree.
Wow.
I'm a trucker with a degree.
Why did you say wow?
Wow.
Because the way he said it.
Wait, hold my beer.
Watch this.
Uh-oh.
I'm a trucker with a degree, and I'm a VIP. Don't
I'm a
frack with me.
VIP.
There you go.
Thank you. And, I got agricultural science, dairy farm management, and business management.
That's awesome.
I went home. I ran the farm for a couple years, and we just couldn't get along.
Yeah.
And, I had big ideas. Dad didn't.
Yep.
Which I understand now. I'm going to be 60 in July.
Yeah.
That's why you had to pick me up and get me on this table here. And my parents were old school, and they wanted to keep the farm the way it was.
Yeah.
I understand that now, but I didn't 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I wanted to put up a big freestall barn,
Yeah.
milk 200 head, which back then was a lot.
Yeah.
And my parents they weren't having that. And it was just like two bushes going together.
Yeah.
And I left.
So you saw a conflict. You got a degree. Don't want to milk cows. So you bought a Volvo?
Hey, Tabernacle, a Volvo. No.
It just says a truck.
Where does it say
No,
that?
I've always had a Peter car.
Why not the Ford that you liked?
A feminine Ford?
No.
My father's a Ford guy through and through and through.
Yeah.
His tractors were all Fords. His equipment, his plows, his harrow. We call them harrows. Some people call them discs.
Drags. Oh.
Were Ford. Our 3-point hitch hay rake was a Ford.
Huh.
You ever seen one of them?
No.
Google it. It's true. 3-point hitch hay rake was Ford. And the only thing Dad wouldn't buy Ford was a baler because they Tabernacle, they sucked balls. The Ford couldn't build a baler to save their ass.
Rachel.
New Holland's got good knotters.
It's just funny.
We had a Massey Ferguson 124 baler. That
Yeah.
was a bailing son of a bitch. I'll tell you what. It had the simplest knotters on it.
Yeah.
We would put 20,000 bales in without even missing a knot. My father researched that. My father's very intelligent, even though he only went to 7th grade,
Yeah.
and he can't spell for shit.
Yeah.
Like
he,
Dave.
he loves to read, but he can't spell this. I'm like, Dad, it's THIS. I mean, come on. But he is an intelligent, money-making. He could take a dime and make $1 out of it.
Yeah.
That's the way my father is.
So leaving the farm to go trucking, you got a pretty good relationship with your parents now?
We're the bestest friends now than we ever have been.
So that's cool.
Yes, it's very cool, yes.
You had the wherewithal to, get out of there and
And in 1994, 5-ish, my dad sold the cows and machinery in 95.
okay.
He kept his one brand new tractor that he bought brand new, a Ford 4600
Yeah.
diesel with square fenders. Oh, square fenders. Every other tractor we had round fenders on them.
Did you ever have one of those bi-directional Fords that went both ways? You guys know what I'm talking about?
I do. I know what
County?
you're talking about.
A
Yeah,
County?
has a loader on one side and a
Ford County?
I don't know what it's called. Tractor guy, what's one of those called?
Where you go backwards with the
A Ford County?
Versatile made.
They were
some of them, too.
European-made Ford County. They called them a County. They were four-wheel drive. They had big tires. They would go anywhere.
Yeah, and you had one?
No, we didn't have. No, my dad.
Those
wasn't
were made
spending money on
before-
one of
those were made before
Christ,
the
no,
bi-directional.
Jesus, Dad wasn't going to spend money on something four-wheel drive. Are you kidding me? We didn't need that.
No. Yeah, chains.
Exactly. Throw chains on.
Yeah.
So you said Peterbilt. How many have you owned?
Only 2.
Is that one empty? Now it's empty?
It is.
That's empty.
We'll
Can I
have
set
the,
her down?
waiter come take that, yeah.
I'll take it.
Good job, Corey.
good
Only
job,
2.
Only 2.
My first truck was a 1995 Peterbilt that I was driving for a guy in New Jersey. I worked for him. He owned 2 trucks. He wanted out of trucking because he owned a dealership, a truck dealership.
Yeah.
International truck dealership. He might have been a little bit. I'm not sure. So, can I say that?
Yeah. Sure.
So,
She says,
Nothing wrong with that.
so
Nothing
he's
wrong
like, Charlie, you have the ability to own your own truck. Because I took care of it like it was my own.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to buy this truck. I said, okay. Excuse me. He helped me buy it. I'm not going to lie. He co-signed for me to buy my first truck. I didn't have, because my first wife wrecked my credit. Well, let's not get into that story. But I had zero credit. I had awesome credit. First wife, zero credit. Oh, hey, tubber neck. So he helped me. He co-signed to get the first truck. I bought it, and I made a ton of money with that truck. I mean, people that say you can't make money with a truck are stupid.
Yeah.
You can make money with a truck if
Yep.
you know how to do it.
Yep.
If you know how to fix them and work on them, you can make money with a truck.
Is that the key to being able to work on it yourself?
Yes. Yes. It is, truly. You know, you need to do everything yourself, just like a farmer. You guys need to fix your own stuff, you know? I'm talking too much. Holy hell.
That's the point of this.
Yeah.
The less we talk, the better our shows are. Believe me.
I get that. I hate you guys. I don't know why you even have me up here.
Because I want to do it. I think we have had. He's probably the most requested guest. I would say. Wouldn't you say he's one?
You.
At least
Who?
one. You
Me?
are.
It ain't
Yeah.
us.
No. I hope my wife's not listening, for frack's sakes.
Why not? She might like that.
Nah, she's not impressed with anything I do on the internet. No.
So when
no.
did you start trucking on your own?
1997.
And was that with the second truck?
First truck.
That was still with the
It
first
was a 95 Black Cherry Peterbilt.
Okay.
Black cherry in color, okay? Mm-hmm. And I ran the living off that. Put 1 million miles on it and sold it.
Yep.
She was pushing water. That's why I sold it. So I loosened up. This is a tale I shouldn't tell. I loosened up the radiator cap because she was pushing. Cody knows. He's a used truck salesman right there. He knows. Yeah, just loosen up the radiator cap. She ain't pushing no water. No. Sold the bitch. I got big money for that truck because people knew me and knew how I took care of stuff. I got $27,000 for that truck cash,
Wow.
which was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the original shyster. Truck sales before you. Yeah. And then I bought Old Blue because I had to make a move. I had a buyer. I had cash. I was like, I got to make a move.
Yeah.
I went and looked at Old Blue at Pocono Peterbilt. I wanted a black truck. I have something for black. I don't know what it is. I wanted a jet black Peterbilt. Well, they only had a blue one.
Yeah.
And I hated it, but it had all the specs that I wanted.
Okay.
It had a 550 cat, 18-speed, 370 rears, which was a hot ticket back then. Nowadays, nobody runs 370s. They run 355s or lower rears. You know, I mean, where are you going with that? I mean, you see a hill, you're like, it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You need tall gears to get your shit up the hills, all right? So I bought her. I brought her home. I was like, God damn, this thing's ugly. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Oh. Then my sign guy came down, put my name on the door. And I've always had my name on it. I'm proud of this, okay? My name on the door. It's my truck. I'm proud. I always had them do it. And you guys probably don't even remember because you're way younger than me. Did you ever watch Moving On in the 1980s with Sonny Pruitt?
So you can't see the crowd, but nobody said yes.
No.
Sonny Pruitt had his name on a door. Same way my name is. It went Sonny Pruitt. And you do it to it like Sonny Pruitt. If you didn't watch, you need to go to YouTube and watch Moving On videos.
Yeah.
Seriously. That was what probably got me trucking.
Okay.
Watching Sonny Pruitt on, that was before BJ and the Bear. My God, you guys.
We got one. We got one.
Got one.
Yeah, there you go.
Where's one? Where's one? Right there. I love that guy.
So when did you start hauling hazardous waste?
And 1989,
Oh, so it was early.
90-ish.
So you've always been in that, I mean, for a long time.
In and out. I worked for a guy in Florida. I drove trucks for him. He was from Watertown, New York. He owned a bunch of triaxles in Florida. And I pulled, he bought me a brand new 1992 Peterbilt. And I hauled produce for him coast to coast. And I loved it because I really didn't like my first wife that much. I didn't care if I was home or not. You know, I just ran the shit out of that. I'm telling you, in a year.
Oh my God.
Who does this? 1 year I put 450,000 miles on that truck by myself.
Oh wow.
1 year.
You were married to the truck.
Yep, and there was a little help. Tabernacle.
How many miles do you have over your career? Do you know?
About 4 million.
4 million.
Accident free?
Oh, hell no. I've had plenty of crashes. I've crashed into everything. You kidding me? I'm not going to claim to be perfect. No. I've had a lot of crashes.
What is hazardous waste?
What I haul is dirt with chemicals in it from like an old factory, mostly like GM plants, Sikorsky helicopters, Ford plants, old plants that in the 40s and 50s, it was legal to dump your shit.
Yeah.
Just dump it, before the EPA came along. You just dumped it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 60s, I think the EPA came along and started forcing them to clean up what they were doing. And basically, that's what I do. I haul dirt, concrete, I-beams. We'll tear a factory down. We'll haul the I-beams and the building.
Yeah.
And it's nasty. And the people are like, bruh, I won't put that in my aluminum trailer. Well, bruh, maybe I can't say how much it pays a mile. No, I'm not going to say that. No.
Could say everything else.
Everybody's going to want to become a.
Yeah, no, loose lips sink ships.
Don't do it.
So where does it go, though? Where do they get rid of the hazardous waste?
It goes all over depending on what it's contaminated with.
Okay.
Like PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, go to Michigan. They're forbidden in Canada, so we cannot haul them to Canada.
Okay.
Which is really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Excuse me. God damn. We haul a lot of, and believe it or not, some of the worst stuff we haul comes out of old dry cleaning places.
Really?
I've
Dry
actually heard
cleaners use the worst chemicals in the world. And we haul all that to Canada. But they won't take PCBs. But the dry cleaning stuff, you can't even get in a trailer like, God, you got to put your respirator on. It stinks so bad. It's awful.
I like how he explained PCBs to us. Like after he said what PCB stood for, we were still going to know what that was.
Right. Yeah. No idea.
Polychlorinated biphenyls. Pay attention.
You heard what
we
you
heard
said.
that.
Jesus.
What's a biphenyl?
A biphenyl.
It's a biphenyl.
I don't know. Google it.
That's the way it is
for
because
Christ's
that's
sakes.
the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
It's enough to pass the test to haul hazardous waste.
Just don't go to Canada with it.
So you're still hauling. Business has been good or slow?
Last year was the worst year I've ever had.
Really?
It was awful.
The world's getting too clean.
No, I don't know if election year had something to do with it, which it normally does with our business.
Yeah.
Nobody knows they want to spend money but this past year, and to be totally honest with you, because I hate being honest, I'd rather lie. But the reason, because they're political, I'm not political.
Yeah.
But they said the reason why we're not hauling any haz dirt is because Biden sent all the money to Ukraine and drained the HazWhopper fund.
Okay.
Okay? They're way smarter than me. They might be correct. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get political. I'm not that guy.
You got to blame it on something.
I'm going to blame it on beer.
There you go.
And that's it. And I'm good with that,
Speaking of beer, you like to name the days. We're Thirsty Thursday right now. Right? It is Thursday? Is it
It is.
Thursday?
It is
Friday?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Frackin' A, it's Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
It's Thursday.
And I'm drinking this farmer beer. Who the hell drinks this shit?
What's your beer of choice?
You painted your combine with this shit.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a wrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't, but Anheuser-Busch did.
You're the original rapper.
Better than the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, my God. Let's not get started
Nope,
on
let's
that.
not.
So what's tomorrow? We'd have done this interview tomorrow. What's tomorrow?
Friday.
Tomorrow I'm going home.
No, what do you call Friday?
Happy frackin' Friday.
No, fair enough.
So why did you decide to get on social media?
Honestly, my wife and children were on TikTok way before me.
Yeah.
I've been on Facebook forever, and I like keeping track
You've
of
got
my
81,000 followers.
oh God, I'm gonna strangle that. I've been on Facebook for 15 years. I like to keep track of my high school friends and stuff, in Vermont, because I moved away, and it's good for that. And 4 or 5 years ago, I was tired of the e-log bullshit.
Yeah.
I was tired. I was like, I can't do this anymore, because I like to truck.
Yeah.
Don't tell me when I can sleep and drive. And
Yeah.
so I don't know what it was. It was a midlife crisis type situation. And I was like, I'm going to buy a bull rack. And I'm going hauling cows. Because they don't have to follow anybody's rules.
No.
They can truck until they crash and kill somebody.
Yeah.
That's the way they are. And I got on TikTok because of the cool bull rack videos. I loved watching them load the cows. The sound of the cows going into trailers, it just turns me on. And they're like, boom, boom, boom. They're going in, they're going out. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Joan, I can't say her name. Wife with no name. I'm like, wife with no name, I'm buying a bull rack.
Yeah.
I'm buying a bull rack, I'm going trucking out west. She's like, do what you got to do. Just get the hell out of here. So I don't know what that was all about, because honestly, I am not going to pull a bull rack coast to coast and then have to shovel the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Two levels.
Yeah.
It's not one level. It's 2 levels I got to shovel out. I'm like, what was I thinking?
Right.
But I was just fed up, and thank God that faded away, because that was the most ridiculous idea I ever had. My goodness.
So you never actually bought the bull hauler?
No, but I should have, because they're pretty cool.
They are.
They're pretty cool.
They are. I'm the same with you, though, man. I have hogs, and those guys will get 4 loads a day, and they got to wash out 4 times.
Oh, good
It just
God.
doesn't seem like
There's nothing worse than hog shit.
Well, in the wintertime,
turkeys.
In the wintertime, they blow it all out, and then it freezes when they're going, and they can't get no gates open or nothing. They're in there with little torches and hammers.
What was I thinking?
Oh, God bless them, I guess.
I was thinking I was still young enough to be cool.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There you go.
And I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm not.
I don't know. I think these people sitting out here think you're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just some old fat guy. That's all I am.
Now you've entertained them. I've thoroughly enjoyed your content. Every time it comes on, you got a little 80s hair bands or something going on. Good music in the background.
People seem to like that, so I roll with it.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. You're working on your truck. You're doing it old school, and I appreciate that. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you appreciating it.
But I know the show ends here in like
That's all right.
15 minutes.
He's
I want to
got a
have
VIP pass on.
I think some people want to
Don't
meet
tell
in
me
here.
when the bitch ends, all right?
And
I know when it ends.
You do, yeah. I want to drink some beer with him. But so what else? What did we miss?
The pontoon.
Oh, yeah, you do have a nice pontoon. You like to go out on the lake.
Thank you.
With the dogs?
My wife and I have, like I said, don't tell me you can't make any money with a truck.
Yeah.
Because you can. And my wife, the wife with no name, has an awesome job.
Okay.
I mean, she's like way up here.
So that's
way
how
up,
you make money with the truck?
I don't know why. I don't know why she's even with me. But we both have a great income, and we've done well for ourselves. And when I met,
Wife with no name.
I'm gonna say her, Joni. When I met Joni,
That's earth-shattering.
earth-shattering kaboom. That's an earth-shattering kaboom. And you young probably won't know what that came from either. Will you?
No.
The cartoon. That was an
Tractor guy doesn't
earth-shattering
even know.
kaboom.
We got no yeses in the crowd for that one.
Oh my God.
So anyway, when you met her,
I had nothing. I was living in a truck with a suitcase. Nothing.
Yeah.
And she was living in her parents' basement, working for, well, I probably shouldn't say, but
Yeah.
all I'm going to say is if you want to work and you want to make money and you have a goal, you can do it. I had nothing when I met her. A suitcase with clothes and a ton of debt from my first wife. Let's not talk about that because it just pisses me off. But I paid the debt off. I lived in a truck for a year before I met my wife.
Farmers, you do it all. So should your technology. Level up your equipment with the latest innovations from Ag Leader.
From sure force downforce control and sure speed high accuracy planting to right spot individual nozzle control, Ag Leader has you covered.
And now, with the new In Command Go displays, you get unparalleled visibility and control, keeping critical information at your fingertips. Upgrade today and reap the benefits this season.
Visit agleader.com or contact your local Ag Leader dealer to get started.
Joni.
Yeah. Current wife.
Yes. So, paid all my debt off every week. But I would like to include one thing. Every creditor I called, because my first wife was getting credit cards in my name. She was a stay-at-home wife, paying the bills like my parents were.
Yeah.
Like I worked like my dad. Mom stayed home and took care of the bills. Well, she wasn't taking care of the bills, and she was getting all these credit cards and racking them up, racking them. I come home one weekend, we have a $1,500 Electrolux vacuum cleaner. I'm like, what the hell did that thing come from? And she drowned me in $80,000 in debt that I didn't even know I had.
Ouch.
So I worked, stayed in the truck every week. I signed my paperwork, Hotel Peterbilt, Anywhere USA. Paid every creditor off. The worst one, can I say this?
I don't know what you're going to say.
yet.
I probably
The
not.
worst, I'll tell you what the worst, I want to say a bad word, but I'm not going to. A worst motherfracker was Sears.
Really?
Oh, really? Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck was the worst one. Wouldn't work with me at all. At all. All the other creditors were like, just do what you got to do. Help,
Yep.
They understood.
Yeah.
Sears was like, so I paid them first.
Okay.
And then I gave them a big finger flip.
Yeah.
And I met Joni. I had nothing. She had a car. I didn't have a car.
Oh.
We bought the truck. We bought a home. We built a shop. We own a lake house now with a pontoon boat like Cody Gare. Cody's dad bought it, but, I did.
Daddy's money.
Daddy's money. Name of his boat.
We have done it. The only thing I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying it can be done if you want to work hard and have a goal. It can be.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Absolutely.
I've done it.
We've had a couple conversations down here that it sounds like, we're in Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville.
It was mouthful of marbles. Yeah. They said it's been pretty tough down here, and there's some operating notes not getting refinanced, and they're dealing with creditors calling. You got any advice for them?
What?
Yeah.
Pay Sears off first.
Got any?
Pay
What
Sears
did
off.
he just say? What?
Some credit. Farmers haven't got their.
Farmers having trouble.
Their notes
They're not getting
renewed.
their operating notes renewed down here.
I don't even know what that means. What's operating notes?
They're in debt.
They're debts, like yours.
I'm not in debt. Sorry for you.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're moving.
I'm going to say learn how to work.
That's fair.
Learn how to work. I'm not in debt.
Do the work. Love it.
Do the work.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
We got a question from the internet. Wants to know what your favorite radio station is.
We're on the internet now?
Yes, we are.
Oh, my God. When I'm in the shop, I like Classic Rewind on Sirius XM radio. When I'm trucking, I like Turbo. Turbo is my go-to trucking channel because I like to be angry when I'm trucking. Corn. Oh, yeah, I love that music when I'm trucking. Give me some angry music. And even when I have it on in the shop, when the wife and no name comes over, she's like, this is why you're angry all the time. You're listening to this angry music. I love it. I do. I'll never grow up. I love Nine Inch Nails, Corn. The only one I don't like is Avenged Sevenfold. Avenged Sevenfold can just fall off the face of the earth as far as I'm concerned. They suck. But I like that 90s grunge music.
Yeah.
Or it's almost 2000s, I think.
Yep. It's crazy. You listen to some of the
I
classics.
don't play that in my TikToks because I feel it's like a little too far out.
Yeah.
Most of the people like my 80s shit that I play.
Yeah.
You know, they can understand like Phil Collins and Boston, baby, and and.
Can't even hear Rachel. What's she saying?
Why'd you take your headset off?
I don't.
Because
Do
I
we
can't
want to
hear
ask him
her.
that? I don't know if we want to ask him that.
Can't ask that question.
Yeah.
If you could start over, would you still truck?
I would still truck.
You wouldn't farm.
I do miss the cows a little bit in the barn. I love being in the barn with the cows and working with the cows, but I don't miss it that much. I love trucking. I just do, and I don't know why, but I do.
Are you going to stay with Old Blue the rest of your career?
Me and Old Blue are going to dig a big hole. We're back in the with me right into her.
There we go.
That's where we're going. Seriously.
How many times has Cody tried to sell you a Vogel?
I have already told my wife and children we're digging. Get you a 345 excavator, dig a hole, back my big ass and my big Blue in there, and bury me.
Yeah.
And while you're burying me, they better be playing Creed. I'm 6 feet from the edge,
There you
and
go.
I'm thinking
Oh, boy.
maybe 6 feet. I'm a city singer. Ain't so.
We're going to end it with some
far
karaoke, too.
down.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right. I'm ready for another beer. Let's get
I tried
down
to
and
give you a beer.
I know, but I want to get down and drink with these guys. I don't get to see these guys very often.
We can do that.
So,
We can do that.
Charlie,
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm tired of this too.
Charlie, thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
down.
Thank you for
It's been
having
several
me.
years in the
Are you
making.
still
I'm
nervous?
sorry if I fracked it up.
It's all right.
No, I'm actually kind of comfortable now because I'm looking at my buddies here, all my buddies, and they make me feel comfortable.
That's one hell of a support crew.
It is.
It's the best ever.
It is.
How about it?
It is. What do you say, Corey?
Crack
How
a
about
cold
it?
one. You deserve it.